You see the grill on the front of the truck is just completely, I mean, it's faded and nothing wrong with it really. Probably a little paint probably make it nice, but the emblem is shot. It's peeling, faded. It's pretty gone. I wanted something a little different, and the emblems run anywhere from $20 to $60 a piece, depending on which ones you get. There's the new grill. Got the 3 amber lights on it, and of course, obviously, right now it says Dodo. And there's a reason why it says Dodo, because you know when you, I'm gonna lay it down like this, when you have the truck or when you buy the grill, obviously the company that makes the parts must not be licensed to sell Ford material, and that's fine. They can sell an F and an R independently, which is exactly what they do. There's the wiring harness for our kit. Got a set of brackets. There's brackets on the truck, on the grill that's already on the truck, but we're gonna install these brackets so that it looks exactly right. And here are our replacement letters. There's the F, O, and then there's the R, little stubby R. But basically, the company that sells these probably not licensed to sell Ford gear, so Ford gear. So what we have is the replacement F and the R that goes in here, and the brackets and everything, and we're fixing to install that right now. So what we've got to do is just flip this bad boy over, and you can see there's screws in here that take the parts and pieces off. So we'll get a Phillips head screwdriver and make really quick work of this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a drill to take the pieces off. I don't recommend screwing them in with a drill, but taking them off with a drill won't hurt anything. No more Dodo for us. We're not a Dodo truck. We're a Ford truck. Ford. Again, we'll start with the F. Take it out of its plastic package. Cool. Alright, so remember your amber lights go top, so when you put your F on, it should go exactly on that way. La da da da. And it's got little, sorry, I forgot to show you the back of it. It's got little mounting bracket holes, so you should have no problem lining this back up. There shouldn't be any mix-ups. There should be a screw for every hole, and we'll just go backwards. And again, I don't recommend using a screwdriver, because you will, at least not, you know, if you want to gear your screwdriver down, that's fine, but let's don't booger this up right off the bat. I hate to have to do a repair when we just get started. And it's going to take a little bit to get them started. I probably should have got a longer screwdriver, make it a little bit easier, but that's okay. We'll use a little stubby screwdriver and get started. I'm going to get one started in that corner and one started in the bottom right corner here as we're looking at it, not as the truck sits, but as we're looking at it. And that way, I got to find a longer screwdriver. I've been working on this truck, so I've had a few mechanical stuff I had to fix on it, getting ready to drive it for my new job every day. And of course, I've placed stuff all over the place. Screwdrivers, important tools, you know, typical mechanic type stuff. I've laced stuff everywhere. If you don't have stuff laying everywhere, I really question if you're a mechanic. Just kidding, I don't. I'm probably going to use a screw gun, and I'm going to gear it down all the way down to nothing, because I don't want to. But I'm getting them started first before I do that. All right, we'll just double check that. All right, now for the R. The R, it's the Pirate Ford. Just kidding. That was kind of a stupid dad joke, I guess. All right, again, on our grill, facing the right direction. Should have a mounting bolt for every hole. This one's a little bit more towards the middle of the logo, but you can see it's not that hard to line up. That's the 3. And I believe we got it good. Let's check the tightness on that R. Oh yeah. So there it is. We are no longer a Dodo, we are a Ford. Well, Ford Grille. All right, let's get this thing installed in the truck. Okay, so right here I'm putting the brackets onto the Grille that come in the package. Keep in mind that the original hardware does not have to be reused. The package comes with everything you need to mount the brackets to the Grille and the Grille to the truck. So I reuse some old hardware here, but I do actually change it out for the new stuff. And then we'll just lower this down carefully. I won't put too much pressure on it. And what will happen, should happen, is everything should pop off the truck like that. And we're left with our old Grille and ready for the new one. And then we're just going to mount this thing up here. There we go. Just a little slight tug on one side. We'll set them in where they need to be. And then look at this. All right, got my drill under there. So we'll go ahead and set our 10mm screws in place and get ready to bolt these bad boys down. Again, I'm just gonna get these not all the way in. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these up because I want to get the adjustments are gonna be, well, no. All right, so I'm gonna leave these just loose enough that we can move them because we're gonna be able to pull the Grille forward and back, front to back, if necessary. And then we'll do the passenger side. All right, part of any good body work is making sure your panels align, okay? And don't slam the panel home, no matter what. Do not slam the panel home because it will tear something up. So easily lower the hood into place. All right, so we've got an issue with the hood latching. So let's see. There we go. All right, so that's shut. Oh, that is slick. That is sweet. All right, just like I talked about, I'm gonna tighten up the bolts underneath first because I want them to sink in, pull the Grille tight to the truck without so much flex on that side of it. Whoop, that side of it. I see something that's boogered up. Not boogered up, but they put those right there on that. Okay, so that for some reason it is going to be in the way a little bit when we tighten these down. So we don't want to over tighten them. That's important piece here, I guess. Is the amber part of the amber Grille pieces are kind of in the way a little bit, but it still looked good. It still looked good tightened or down a minute ago, so we're not going to worry about it too much. And again, these are going to be tightened in place. Just putting all these on here before we hit them with the ratchet gun. They're just little bolts with fender washer type bolts. They got their own washer. Fender bolts. They're actually, I guess you'd call them fender bolts. There's 6 of them across the top. I don't want to pull too tight. I want to break this down a little bit because we are dealing with plastic. And I don't want these things to break. I mean, I definitely don't want it to break. All right, so we got those top bolts tightened in. And we'll just check this fitment one more time. Yeah, it's gonna be good. All right, so if you don't want the amber lights to light up, that's where your grill install stops for the most part. We're just gonna tighten these bad boys up right here. And we're gonna snug those up nice. And if this is, like I said, if this is where you want it to stop at, you could tie those loose wires up and not have them come on when you drive. But I am gonna go with I am going to go with it driving, with having the running lights on when I drive, just because I think it looks a little better. I think it looks a lot better actually, and that's going to be our big decision on how we're going to run those wires and lights. But that'll be coming up next in this video. I'm going to go ahead and plug these in to get me I gotta get the layout of this thing perfect, because I'm not a big fan of where the wires are gonna be at, but we're just gonna have to zip tighten them, figure it out. Got a little waterproof connection on there, pretty cool. So we're gonna go down to the driver's side. I think that'll be probably the easiest to get everything did. So we'll take these and we'll figure out a way to zip tie them together so that they run across the bottom of the hood and don't interfere with any of our hood latch or anything else. And then we're just going to run down the hood hinge side over there, and we'll figure out some way to make some loops on there and zip tie it. I've seen people go to the hood bottom. I'm just not a big fan of that, so we'll go from there and see what we can find. I'll pull those out of the way. You've got a 10mm bolt here and then one on each side of the light. I've already taken these lights out. You saw it in the other video where I changed the headlights out. Basically, we're just going to do the same thing. Pull the headlights out so that we can splice into our wire, into our running light wire. Easy enough. Lift on the tab here. Headlight comes out. See how easy that comes out? This is our running light here. So I'm just going to unclip this so that we're not fighting it. But this is what we want to get into. So I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to trim back some of this wire here, some of this tape, to get into here without too much damage here. I'm just going to take this tape off here and save a little bit of grief later. And this is pretty. Once we get into what this really is, this is not rocket science at this level here. This is super, super easy. All right, so we found our end piece here. Just unwind a little bit now. It's not magic, because that's just what working on card means. So we do, we find little small stupid stuff like tape. But look, we want to do one side, so easy enough, right? Anyway. Alright, I think that's plenty. We've got a nice 4 or 5 inch section there that's cleared. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we're back down to where it meets the loom at, the rest of the main loom for the headlights, and I don't think it's necessary to go any further than that. Alright. So that we know our wires are going to follow the fender well, and we're going to be up against this frame section over here. I'm going to come in to the lights from the back side. We want to go ahead and chase our wire the way it needs to be so we don't lose it where we want to be at. And there's no reason why you can't just drop down through the frame here, through the fender, I think. So we're just going to do that. We're not going to get crazy on this one. Yeah, that'll be fine. So you've got a black wire here and appears to be brown wire. Yeah, brown wire here, obviously black to black, and we'll go red to brown. Now I buy this box of quick connects at Advanced Auto Parts using my speed perks and the 20% discount. I paid like $246, and it's got a bunch of different quick connects in there. So no need to go crazy buying crazy parts or anything. You're just gonna need 2 quick connects, and I'm gonna use the blue ones because that's about the right size for the wire we're gonna use these blue ones here. All right, so open up the quick connects, and you've got one where you just put your wire in the back side. So I'm going to split this one all the way open so I can show you. All right. On the back side, you can see there's kind of like a plastic stop in there, and that's where your short wire is going to go. You're just going to go in there and stop. And this piece right here on the front is open front to back, and that's where your main wire is going to go, because it's going to continue through the sleeve to the lamp assembly back into the wiring harness, so you don't need it to be cut on either side. So your short wire goes in the back, your main wire goes in the front, then you clamp it together, squeeze the metal pin into it, it bites into the sheathing around the wire and makes your connection. So we're going to take the wire, put it into the inside here. I'm gonna make the connection back as far as I can so that it's not interfering with anything. Lay the wire in there, lay that wire in there. Close our frame down. Well, don't lose the two, because they're gonna try to fight you. They're gonna try to fight you because, again, that's what we do working on cars. I'm just gonna take a cheap pair of, I'm using a cheap pair of pliers, so you do what you want to here. Bite that down. You should be connected. Clamp it over. There's your first connection. Now, obviously we're going to test these connections before we just close everything, button everything up, but we're going to do the same thing for the black wire. I'm just going to trim off this exposed wire on the end because we don't need that. That'll help us make a little more solid connection. Again, we're going to flip it around so that it's opposite the other one, but we're going to go, well, actually, yeah, we're going to keep it the same direction. Inside to inside, you know, the black wire goes on the outside edge because that's the one we want to pass all the way through. Our black wire from our wiring harness is going to go in. We're going to hold it together, take our pliers, and bite into our wires. Pull it to test it. Everything's locked in place. Clamp it down. And then all we're going to do is take our wiring harness here, plug back into our blinker, or our running light, excuse me. Going to flip this back over real quick, and then we're just going to test it to make sure we've got connectivity and that all of our lights wired up right. Let's turn our running lights on, or parking lights, whatever you want to call them. This side's obviously on. Our 3 lights are illuminated. That side's on. There we go. All right. So we made 100% good connection there. Our Raptor lights are working on our Raptor grill. You are seeing it firsthand. Those quick connects are easy. Let's turn these lights off before we kill our batteries out. We didn't electrical tape our connections because obviously we wanted to make sure our connections were going to work before we wasted all of our time doing that. So let me find my electrical tape real quick. I'm just going to raise this back up. I'm going to electrical tape my connections individually and then together. All right, I decided to go ahead and show you what I meant by, because I mean some people just, some people this is a new project for them. I mean, so you may be a young guy, you may be an old guy. I like to get me a piece of tape, electrical tape, and I like to individually tape them. I don't know why, just always have. secures the wires, keeps them from vibrating loose, builds a buffer, and it also just helps, I mean, what little bit of moisture protection you get from electrical tape, which isn't much. This is not for underwater applications, obviously. Perfect. All right, done. And then we're back to the light installation.